In this video, we are going to see how we can deal with the accrued expenses paid by cash. And this is transaction for the month of January. Now that we have implemented the system, what does it mean? If we go to the sheet 1 of this project, we have already seen that the scenario was the Empire Textile was operating for many years, but they were either working manually or on the computerized accounting system. So they wanted to shift their system on to Teleprime. So what we have done is we took the balance of the last year closing trial balance and we have created the opening trial balance. We created all the ledgers and put their opening balances. Then we went to customer and their balances. We entered that. Suppliers and balances. We entered that. We have entered all the inventory individual balances according to the assignment and entered all the units and details. We have also created our recipe management system. And finally, we checked it against the opening trial balance to reconcile this. That means we are now live on the system. And from now on, we can simply use the system as we normally did earlier for, let's say the company was operating manually. So now they can fully work on the system after implementing this. This is all the steps related to implementation. Now the day-to-day transactions comes. That means all the routine transaction. So on 1st of January, it says accrued expenses paid by cash. Now just remember guys, before entering any of the transactions, that we are using the educational version. As you can see here, Teleprime educational. That means all the functions can be used, but we only have the date restriction. Either we can enter all the transactions on 1st, 2nd or 31st. So these are the choices between the transaction. We can enter 1st January transactions. We can enter transactions on 2nd January, or otherwise we can enter the transaction on 31st of January. During the months, we cannot enter it for all the dates. So since we have this project for all the dates, what we will do is we will enter some of them on 1st and 2nd, and rest all we will enter it straight away on 31st of January in order to make the function smooth. So let's enter this first transaction. Since this is a voucher, Tele is divided in two parts. One is called masters, one is called transaction. So anything which is created for the first time, that means we have created the ledger, we have created some customers, we have created some vendors or inventory items, all were created from masters. And now that we have created all these things, all the day-to-day transactions like payments, receipt, journal entry, purchase order, anything which is related to a transaction can be entered from transactions. And we have a simple area called vouchers. Each of the function is on the right, whether it's contra, receipt, journal, sales, purchases, even sales and purchase order, receipt note, all are within the vouchers. Now just remember that in Teleprime, we have a specific area for each function, but the journal entry is used as a last resort. So accrued expenses paid by cash, since it is related to a payment, it can be entered from the payment. Journal entry will only be entered if the transaction is non-cash and non-trading. That means it shouldn't be related to a trading activity like buying and selling the cloth or buying and selling shirts. It should not be connected to a main trading source of the business, and it should be non-cash as well. Like any kind of adjustment entry, prepaid rent is converted to rent expense, something like that, which doesn't involve cash. But this transaction involves the cash. So that's why we will use the payment feature for that. This is done on 1st of January and we are paying this by cash. I'll choose cash. And accrued expenses paid by cash. We need to check first on the first sheet whether we have any opening balance or balance due for accrued expenses. Yes, we have. Accrued expenses was 200,000 due and we are paying this amount. So we need to clear this liability. So accrued expenses, I'll choose here in the particulars. Balance was 200,000. We are clearing all of this. And now the current balance, as you can see, is 0. Hit enter. Just go directly in the narration. And I'll just copy and paste this narration right here and Control A to save. And this is how you can enter the accrued expenses paid by cash in Teleprime. Hit exit. And if you want to see any of the details of what is being entered, where does it go, From the gateway of Tele, we just go to display more reports and check the daybook, and all the activities can be seen here. As we can see, the first transaction is mentioned here. So just try this by yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.